Welcome to the Media Center here at IRCE. I'm Allison Banko, MarketingSherpa reporter, and I am joined by Sean Cook, CEO of ShopVisible, and Ryan West, SVP of WestMusic. And why don't we start off by you tell us a little bit about what ShopVisible is and what you all do as a company.
Sure, thanks very much. I appreciate you having us. My name is Sean Cook, and I'm the CEO of ShopVisible. We are an e-commerce platform provider. That means we provide the technology that enables sort of an end-to-end customer experience and selling experience for brands, manufacturers, and retailers. Specifically in both business-to-consumer and business-to-business environments, where they're selling their products to a customer, whether that's an enterprise or an individual consumer.
Fantastic. And tell us about WestMusic.
I'm Ryan West with WestMusic. We're a third-generation family-owned and operated business based in Iowa. We do everything from catalog to retail, so we're really truly an omnichannel experience where consumers are able to shop in retail locations and buy everything from grand pianos to drums to guitars, you name it, to an online presence, westmusic.com, that was an outgrowth of a catalog business that we started 30-some years ago, focused on music education products, really highlighting that kind of pre-K to 8th grade musical experience in a general music market.
Fantastic. And Ryan and Sean are both speakers at this year's IRCE, both with very different sessions. Sean, can you touch on what you are going to talk about tomorrow?
Sure. Tomorrow we're speaking alongside another client partner, 3M, and we're talking about trends in B2B commerce. So if you look at the exhibit hall here, there are just things that have evolved over the last 20 years in consumer e-commerce. And what we're seeing is that in the business-to-business world, many times companies have lagged behind, and they're looking to adopt the kinds of best practices in technology and process and organization on the business side. And so we're going to be speaking about just things that business-to-business companies should address and the kinds of things that are leading the charge as that evolution happens.
And Sean, without giving too much away, if you had to kind of give one key takeaway of something that B2B marketers should be doing, what would it be?
Sure. Well, you know, there's a couple really. There's just the realization that companies are filled with people, and even though you might be selling to an enterprise, those people are consumers too, and they're used to interacting on different screen sizes and shifting the time that they want to interact with you. And so companies have to realize that the expectation has been set so high that companies selling to other companies have to adopt that and recognize that as an individual you want to be able to do things on your time, through the channel that you want, through the mechanism that you want.
Excellent, and that kind of segues perfectly into what Ryan is talking about with the omni-channel of WestMusic.
Yeah, well, for WestMusic, and one of the reasons why we work so closely with ShopVisible is we have this unique experience where we have a teacher oftentimes shopping from a school district, making an informed purchasing decision, but maybe not always necessarily making the final purchasing decision. So being able to work within a B2B workflow where potentially there's a higher level kind of purchasing agent, but an influencer at the lower level that has that kind of hierarchical stuff that's common to a B2B experience is one of the things that's important. Well, at the same time, thankfully we've got two WestMusic brands here. One is a national entity and one's a local entity, and that is our retail environment. And so our retail customers, as Sean said, you know, the bar continues to be raised. The retail customer has an experience, and they expect that experience to be consistent no matter where they engage with the company, whether it's in a B2B space or a B2C space. And so our responsibility as retailers or as omnichannel retailers is to really blur the lines and make sure it's going to be impactful wherever they interact with us.
Excellent. And Ryan, diving deeper into that, you talked yesterday on your session, 5 hot new technology developments, and there were many speakers in it, but the one that you hit on was geolocation.
Yeah, we looked at the kind of continued trends in geolocation. I think everyone's familiar with the banner ad where you're seeing something that's relevant to your zip code that may or may not be accurate depending on where you're located. And so we try to influence that using omnichannel techniques by marketing directly to a local customer. If they're on our website, we want to make sure they know about a piano sale that might be happening on a regional basis, but we're not going to ship a piano across the country right now. Free shipping over X dollars, that just doesn't work with a grand piano. So we try to utilize some of those geolocation opportunities, and then starting to see the bleeding edge with new protocols taking place with Bluetooth low energy protocols where people are able to see at a meter basis or even on a foot basis where you are in a store, and blurring those lines of commerce from online to in-store to just proximity sensing. So.
Excellent. And we were actually able to get an example of what WestMusic has done with geolocation. Let's take a look at that. Can you explain to us what you did here?
Yeah, so utilizing some simple site merchandising and using IP address locators, as we mentioned before, kind of the simple example of saying, oh, you live here, here's an opportunity for us to give you something that's relevant to you. So the piano sale, we want to make sure when a customer comes to westmusic.com, they have an experience that's really relevant to what their purchasing cycle is. And so a local customer is going to want to see there's an opportunity there to go to a piano liquidation sale. But a teacher that's going to be teaching general music, let's say in Florida, they're not going to be traveling to Iowa to check out that grand piano, and they're going to want to see something else, maybe a rebate program or another promotion that's relevant to them. So.
And also with macro location, we talked about geolocation and all of that. Sean, what would be your key takeaway from what WestMusic is doing in e-commerce and what other marketers can do with their own businesses?
Well, Ryan and his organization have been leading the charge for a long time now. They're innovators in the space, and what I see is a trend towards retailers that are able to not only technically satisfy these needs and the differences between a local customer and a national customer, but the way to operationalize that, the way to make sure that you're able to fulfill that. Because it's easier said than done to be able to order online, pick up in store, return from anywhere, or be able to segment and say, look, we're going to offer these kinds of promotions locally and these others nationally. It takes a lot of operational chops to be able to do that too.
Excellent. A lot of great takeaways here. Thank you, Sean and Ryan, for joining us in the Media Center today. Don't forget, you can see all of our videos at marketingsherpa.com/IRCE.